Welcome to Aunt Mazie's kitchen. Today I'm using cod to make a dish that we call curry cod with broad beans. I know we're accustomed to serving cod in a dried form, a cured form. Salt is used there. So we may do an ackee and saltfish, but today I'm doing the dish that is different. I'm adding curry powder, and it is curry cod with broad beans. Now the cod was washed with water and white vinegar. And we even used a lime on that too. So, and I actually washed this in 3 layers of water and then dried the pieces with absorbent paper. And now I'm going to add the seasonings. What are these seasonings? The total amount of black pepper I'm going to use is 1 teaspoon, but I'm adding a little now, about a half the amount. I'm using a half tablespoon of homemade all-purpose seasoning. I'm using a half teaspoon of salt, yes, and I'm going to add a little ginger to this, a little bit of onion, a little bit of scallion, and I'm going to rub the seasonings in. And then I'm going to add a little bit of vegetable oil. I'll add just about, let me see, about a half tablespoon of olive oil, or you could use coconut oil. And the function here, the fish is really a sort of a dry fish. So I'm putting the oil on to help to seal the seasonings in. We will cover this and we'll leave it to marinate for about an hour or 2. And it doesn't have to be that long. So we season that, cover it, and set it aside. Making curry cod with broad beans, right? I'm using a 1/4 cup of olive oil here. The skillet was heated ahead of time, so we are ready to add the seasonings. And what are these seasonings? Some garlic, some chopped garlic, 1 tablespoon of curry powder, some scallion, about a 1/4 cup of chopped scallion, 1/4 cup of onion that we chopped. We are adding some ginger, and we are adding lemongrass. Fever grass, same thing. We heat through to allow for the release of flavors. My word. Can you imagine fever grass, curry, garlic, onion, scallion? Yes, wow. We saute these seasonings. And the next step is to add some coconut milk. I'm going to add about 3 cups of coconut milk. And we stir. And we allow this to come to a boil. There are some other items that I need to add to this. I am using about a half teaspoon of pimento berries that I crushed. Just, they weren't grounded. We cracked them, and you have the release of flavor. Really is nice. I have some fresh thyme. And I am adding 1 tablespoon of butter to this. And we are cooking over medium heat. Now, some methods of cooking that we like to use for fish. One that readily comes to mind is frying. And, you know, we like to maybe use a whole fish and we may rub the seasonings on that and we may do it on the grill. The dish we are doing requires moisture, so it's going to be more steaming. We are going to immerse the fish in the sauce. So we are cooking this until it gets a little thick, just a little. And we adjust the seasonings. Oh. And this will allow this to come to a boil. Remember, when we are finished cooking the fish, we are going to add the beans to that dish. Cod is one of those fishes that it has a tendency to be dry. And so the liquid we are using, we will keep spooning the liquid over the fish. And I think we can start adding the pieces of fish to this. We cut the fish sort of in chunks, eh? You will recall that I used a tablespoon of curry powder in the skillet. If you wanted, not a must, but if you wanted, you could have added a half of the curry powder to the seasoning that I did before I added curry over there. Are you with me? Yes. You could use half the curry powder on the fish itself and a half over here. So we immerse these. And that's it. We will spoon the liquid over the fish. We will do this from time to time. We are going to cover this. We are going to reduce the flame to about, I'm working on medium flame, but I'll go back from time to time to make sure I spoon the sauce over the pieces of fish so it remains moist, succulent, juicy, and you'll want to have that. We are about 3/4 the ways in cooking this meal. The pieces of fish, they are tender but firm, and the flavors, the range of flavors, lemongrass, scallion, ginger, onion, are being released in our kitchen. I tell you, you need to be close to this kitchen to smell what's happening here. So this is almost done. And now I'm going to mix in 2 cups of broad beans. These beans were soaked overnight, and then we boiled them and drained the water. And we add them to this mixture. for a satisfying and a filling meal. So see, we spoon the liquid, we keep basting the pieces of fish, right? We are allowing this to sufficiently heat through, and then the meal is going to be served. There was one thing that I left out. It is the whole pepper. I may cut this pepper, but then we are feeding all the members of the family, and not everybody can take pepper in its very hot form. I'm going to put it in whole. See? Spoon some of the liquid over it, and it is going to offer a beautiful flavor. So we are preparing to serve dinner. What would you like to serve as the starch accompaniment to this meal? I can hear somebody saying, yes, some boiled green bananas that you crush. Somebody is saying some crushed sweet potatoes. Am I hearing anybody say yam? Yes, yam, whether it is from Lucy or anywhere in Trelawney. But we have opted today to use some rice. But of the list that I mentioned, you may use any one of them as starch accompaniments. So let me prepare to serve the meal. So at the end of a total of 20 minutes cook time, the curry cod with broad beans is ready to be served. Now let us look at what we have. And we are going to spoon some of the sauce, yes, with the beans atop the rice. I used a total of 2 pounds, 1 kg of cod. And we have enough to serve a family of 4 or 5 persons, a satisfying, a very filling, and a very nutritious dinner. And just one more thing. We have some chopped parsley from our garden. I'm going to sprinkle some over the surface of this meal. I trust that you will find this meal very satisfying, as I found out when I prepared it the first time. So we would like to share the recipe with you. We invite you to like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel.